This is the brand of sacrifice. It's actually an anime tattoo. I don't even watch anime. I lost my leg and got all kinds of face tattoos, and I thought that was a Viking tattoo. So I literally got a Viking tattoo on my face. Now I got all these young kids saying, "Oh, anime, anime," and I've never seen an episode of anime.
I went to Denver to see anime.
Okay,
All the way from South Dakota. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Kevin, what's wrong with you? I know
She's
you're in
talking.
Colorado. Where are you at?
Hey,
What part of the country?
hey.
What part of the country are you in?
I'm in Colorado Springs, Colorado right now.
Yeah, we're in the
Oh,
same
so
city,
that's
Alex.
that good. That's that good shit there.
No, stop it.
I get it now. I get it now. I get it now. I like to figure things out first before I get in depth. But I see where you at, man. I see where you at, bro.
Yeah,
How'd you
yeah,
lose
yeah.
your leg?
I lost my leg on a motorcycle. Actually, I got hit head on by a car.
Oh shit.
Did you get paid?
So it severed my artery. Everyone thought I was dead. They just made me comfortable. It was really awkward. They were like, "Oh, like no one had any bedside manner." Everyone pulled over and was like, "Oh my god, all the blood! Cover them up with blankets." And I was like,
Oh my
"Shit,
god, wow.
Wow.
there goes that."
Wow. But you
Did
fought
they
through. That's
did they have
awesome.
insurance?
Yeah, they had insurance. I actually got a pretty good settlement, which got taken from me in a divorce.
Wow.
Year and a half later. Yeah,
Damn,
I got
dog. You just been going through hell. You lose your leg, your wife, your money. God
I
damn.
tell I tell you what, it was a rough time of my fucking life, and I was dumb because I commingled the funds in a marital account. So I was married. When I'm with somebody, I'm just with them. Like
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
didn't
but
same.
think
how
I
long were
wasn't
you
like,
married? How long were you
huh?
Yep.
married? How long were you
I was
married?
married to her, together for 6 years, married for 4. That one, I got 4 failed marriages, so that's kind of a loaded question.
God damn, son, you're a walking disaster, ain't you? Holy shit.
Well, at one time in my life I was, and every once in a while I still have my disastrous moments.
Damn, four married. Oh my lordy, damn. What you trying to do, man? You trying to break the Guinness World Record or some shit?
Well, I'm gonna be fifth time here. Eventually, I'm gonna be a fifth time. I believe in marriage. I believe in the institution of it. I
I
just
do too.
haven't figured out how to make a relationship work.
No, y'all some crazy ass folks. Y'all believe in experimentation is what y'all believe in. Talk about, I've been married 4 times. I'm gonna get married again. I believe in the sanctuary of marriage. Dog,
Are
Kevin.
you are you married right now, brother?
Yeah,
How long you been married?
6'5'4".
Six
Six
five
five
four.
four.
We did that so I can remember that shit. So we got married on 6'5'4".
You got
Okay,
the
I
O
am.
for it.
I've been with her ass for 25 years.
that's
Uh,
good. All right.
well, she's been putting up with me, son, because I'm a handful. I've been a handful. Uh, so she's an angel. Got 2 beautiful little babies. Well, I got 2 badass kids, the little ones. But obviously I'm black, so I got like another 9 or 10 somewhere else. I play football for a living, so I had fun. So
That's what that's what they'll say. That's the way it goes. Right? And yes,
yeah,
you're obviously black. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you being on the show.
I'm light skinned, homie. I'm light skinned. Don't get that shit wrong.
Oh,
Don't get that
I'm
shit.
I'm look at me
I'm,
blushing already. I burn quick. I'm so fucking white. I go out there in the sun. I burn.
yeah, well, look at my tan. See, I burnt myself. I burnt myself. Burnt myself.
So how's
Uh,
your morning been going?
uh, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I had the most incredible thing happen to me this morning.
Oh, tell us about it. I want to know.
I woke up.
Yep, I
Well,
knew that.
that is absolutely this side of the ground, right? That is absolutely something we're celebrating every day.
There's a
I
mi-
forget to
there,
celebrate it.
there's a million plus people that didn't get an opportunity to wake up this
Yep.
morning, and they went to bed last night just like us,
Yep.
Yeah.
preparing to start our day, preparing to make a difference or a change, or to be informed or to inform,
Right.
Yeah.
and they didn't get that opportunity. And guess what? We have that opportunity. I woke
Yep.
up this morning. I cut my phones off every night.
Okay.
and so I don't get calls through the night. And I pray and I hope that when I wake up in the morning, I don't see any chaos that's happened because people send me a lot of chaotic shit.
Yeah.
And the first thing I saw this morning was there was somebody from my home state, North Carolina. They found two people hanging within 5 days, 90
Oh
miles
wow.
apart.
That's
Uh,
sad.
That's still.
black folks don't hang themselves.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
we're homicidal. We're not suicidal. And if you are hung, if you are hung, and your feet are off the ground, somebody else did it
yeah. Yeah.
because you're
That's
not
sad.
That's
gonna you're
still.
not gonna tie her up around your neck, climb up a 40-foot tree, and jump off that son of a gun.
No, I don't. I
Not
don't
gonna happen.
reckon as much. Racism is still pretty alive down south, right? I mean, it's pretty.
Racism's alive.
Uh,
Racism is alive everywhere. Did you
Hmm.
look
okay.
at Did you see what happened in Minneapolis yesterday?
No.
No, I haven't been. I've been following that lady, and her
The
husband.
Clancy,
Yeah,
the
I've been
Clancy,
following that, and
Who?
so everyone. That's all over my feed.
the one
Who?
that she her three children were murdered by her, and then she tried to commit suicide. She had a postpartum psychosis. She had a mental
Oh yeah,
breakdown
said that
after
she
having a
was
baby.
that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Bullshit.
It's from the medicine that she was on. I know
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
personally because
said
I
that
was
the
on the same
medicine.
medication.
Okay, listen. I believe that anything can happen. Anything can be real. How
Right.
old was the babies?
8 months, 2 and 4
Okay.
or
And
5, I think,
why would you keep having babies if you knew that there was a psychological problem? And you had
because
the
they're black
4 year
kids.
old.
Okay.
And
I
two
like
years
this.
later, you got the 2 year old. And then you have an 8 month old baby.
Because
So,
sometimes,
yeah,
when you're pregnant, like your psychosis, like your postpartum, doesn't hit after the first kid.
I
Like
understand that, sweetie. My mama had 13
I
youngins.
know she did.
I'm the 13th one.
13.
Her ass should have committed suicide a long time ago, but she didn't.
Some people
Okay?
can handle it better than others.
She had to work in the cotton fields. A day after she had a baby on a Wednesday, and she got and picked 200 pounds of cotton on a Thursday with the baby tied on a burlap sack around her chest.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things that I hear, I think their excuses are for people that have failed. And
Yep.
when you tell me that you killed 3 kids,
Your
and
own three. Yeah.
and obviously she was a middle class person, right?
Yeah.
She was middle class and she was on a lot of medication.
Okay.
They
Well,
had her on a whole bunch of different medications. They were playing guinea pig with her for months. She went to like 3 different doctors who prescribed her like 3 different things, and
is this the
it was
one that
just
they're going to try to sue the doctor? They're
Yeah.
trying
no.
to
I
sue
think
this.
Or are
she.
they?
I think she's actually trying to sue the doctor.
Yeah,
The point. The problem I have with it is that millions of women get postpartum, and
Right.
millions of women do not strangle their babies one by
Right.
one,
But did
and
you
one
see
of them
the
actually
statistic?
ran from her.
Oh
talk
wow,
about
yeah.
that.
Well, the
And
statistics
so,
are 1 in 10,000 people get the psychosis, so that's
yeah.
really, really rare.
Well, it's so. And another thing I have, and this isn't even, we'll dig into this for a minute because this has been interesting to me for days. I had babies taken from me during my divorce. So I know as a man what it's like to have your babies taken from you. And so with everybody online blaming the guy, oh, he must have been a shitty husband, or he must have manipulated her, or he somehow was on a surveillance video at CVS at the same time. He came back and killed the kids, threw her out the window. So there's a lot of stir online about it, and
There is.
that one really kind of got to me. I was really kind of outspoken online because I know what it's like. That man lost his babies. He came home and found the woman he loved laying in the front yard with her throat cut and her wrist cut, and she had jumped out the window. And everyone is demonizing him and blowing him up and calling him
Right.
names, and that kind of breaks my heart right there. So
I think people just need somebody to blame,
yeah,
other than, so that they use
yeah,
anything and everything they can to blame
Everybody
others
has their
instead of
own
taking
agenda.
responsibility. Right.
yeah,
Everybody has their own agenda, and This brings me back to Susan Smith.
Okay.
She's trying to get released from prison after what, 35 years.
What's her story?
She
Yeah, I don't know her
she
story
drowned.
either.
That's the chick that drowned the babies. Took the
Okay.
car, pushed the car down in a little lake, and they found the
Oh
babies
wow.
2 days later. Susan Smith.
Holy shit.
Everybody knows about this. And this is just like the Casey Anthony shit. I
Yeah.
don't believe. I believe in mental health crisis,
Yeah.
Right.
but when it gets to the extreme like that, and it was calculated, because
Mm-hmm.
if it was something where she just took the kids and she killed them both at the same time, killed them all at one time, that's different.
Yeah.
But to have that
Yeah.
psychosis where you walk
Yeah.
around, chase your kid
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Yeah.
eliminate them, I have issues with that.
Yeah, no, I understand that too
Now,
completely.
I
I get
know
that.
she
And
might
then
have been crazy, but that kind of crazy don't need to be on the street. And the crazy
No, that's
part
true.
is,
no,
because of how the world works, she's got a chance.
she
She's
does. And
got a
that's,
chance.
see, a lot of that it boils down to social media. It's a court of public opinion, right? So people are worried about what, I mean, we have millions of women online advocating and wearing pink shirts and saying, I feel like she does. And if we have millions of women online feeling like killing their babies, then I think that's a bigger problem, anyways. But it's a social media influence. Everything
That's
comes down
true.
to we have social media and people just speak their minds and they're not, so much disinformation is spread and you can't get your news from social media.
Right.
Social media is a great thing
Yeah.
for certain reasons. If we're trying to get a following, if we're trying to
Yep.
uh, grow something, beautiful. But
Right.
Yeah.
TikTok is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen,
Hmm.
because you'll be on TikTok and you will have a simple subject that is supposed to be that's supposed to be communicated about in a peaceful way, and then the niggers and the crackers and the bitches and the whores. So I honestly feel like TikTok was created to bring separation into families, or the
Yeah.
separation into the world,
Yeah.
because everybody's arguing about something. I have been on TikTok, I don't know, probably once or twice, and it was a conversation where I could laugh about. Then I got in trouble because there's this dumbass up there talking about squirting.
I I will tell you what. So this is what I heard about TikTok. China came out with TikTok.
Yeah.
Um, if you go to China, it's informational. People who are watching TikTok in China are getting information. It's like a schooling. Here
That's
in the
crazy.
United States, it's all just dumb scrolling and
And it's
drama,
drama,
and
and it's
it's
like
just
those
stuff that
what do they call
clogs
those
us up.
things where the kids are like doing stuff, like where the kids are doing, what do they call those things? The trends, where they're doing all these trends.
Yeah, yeah,
The kids are
yeah,
dying because they do dumb shit. Yep.
yep,
And and it's a way for people can sit on their ass and show their titties and make
yep.
Make
10
money.
grand a month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing to me. Also, I tell you what, if I had nice titties, my following would be a lot bigger.
No,
But
what I'm
I was
telling you,
not blessed.
it is crazy because every time you flip through, there's some chick with a titty showing.
Yep.
Yep.
I seen somebody like that with horse titties. And she probably weighed at least 600 pounds. And they
Yeah.
were out here, they were all up in her face, and she had to look over here to get the talk. I'm like, oh my God, that's too much. That's too
Yeah,
much.
that's too much. And
And
then
she
imagine like
probably has
when kids
thousands
get on
of,
there, that's probably why they're trying to take it away from kids because of stuff like that. Because kids don't
Yeah.
yeah,
need to
and
be
she
on there,
probably
you
Oh,
know?
got thousands of followers.
Probably,
yeah, she had
if not
like,
millions.
what was it? It was like 200,000. Oh,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
there's a shitload of them up there. You can go and look. And they have 50, 60, 70,000, 100,000, 200,000 followers. And all they do, I know this one person, and you've talked to her before. The girl, her name was, oh God, what is her name? Anyhow, I forgot her name now. She went on TikTok
Uh-huh.
and she started, and I guaranteed you in 2 months, she's had 100,000 followers.
Wow.
Yeah, I will tell you what, I get a little bitter because I put out a lot of content, but all my content, I'm trying to help people. I want to help
Right.
people. I want to dig into the divisiveness between people. And literally, I'll get maybe 10 fucking views. And then I scroll a reel and it's just somebody dancing, doing something stupid.
And they
And
get
they've
like
got
4.5K.
4.5. Yeah, it's like they're making money off this shit. And I'm like,
Yep.
holy crap.
Like
And
run
I
their
don't
own
know
business or
everything.
something. That's what I keep saying.
I've got a sister that does TikTok, and you can, and if you think I'm crazy, pull up Mahalia, Mahilea Jones,
Okay. Okay.
and she's got like 80,000 followers. She's got 110,000 shares on
That's
some of her
crazy.
videos, and all her ass is doing it for. She's 60, she's 65 years old, so all that stuff she had in her hips is gone now. So all she can do is work her arms.
She just
Yeah, all she can do is move her arms, like bob her
Well, she
head,
just
you
got
know.
viral. She got viral, so
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah,
It just
yeah,
depends on if you
and you
get
know, and
viral or not.
she got that dead raccoon on her head, so you know she can't be flinging it too hard; it should have fall off. And it's like Mahalia make money, and she don't want to monetize from it.
yeah.
Right.
And I'm thinking, you're crazy. You got 110,000 shares. I mean,
Yeah,
Yep.
that's money.
look at her numbers. She does astronomical numbers. The point I'm trying to make is this: you can do silly shit and get thousands of views.
Right.
And you could want to have educational shit that would help people, and
Yeah.
you'll get 10 views. The
Right.
same
Yeah.
thing happens in what we do. Uh we'll have an event. We'll go, me and D went to Boston.
Okay.
It cost us, I don't know, 6 grand to go
Yeah.
there. We get there, and before we get there, we have these organizational meetings. And you know, in these meetings are going, you got 30, 40, 50 people on the line, and you show up and there's 3 people.
Yep.
Yeah.
We traveled all the
Yeah,
way from here,
that's the way the
Colorado, to
world is.
Boston, and three people showed up.
I was in Minneapolis last week,
Oh, I
and
saw that. I saw that. I
think
saw
about
that.
all the chaos that's happened in Minneapolis.
Right.
Yeah, what's
And
going on there? You mentioned that earlier. Let's circle back. What's happening? What happened in Minneapolis?
you know who Jake Lang is?
No, I do not.
Mm,
Jake Lang is a Donald Trump wannabe, but he's an
Okay.
extreme racist. And and so they had a nigger march. Not a
Okay.
nigger march, a nigger march in Minneapolis, Minnesota yesterday.
wow.
Yep.
And he showed up. He showed up.
Okay.
And they ran his ass out of town in like 5 or 10 minutes. But the point that I'm trying to make is, why would the powers to be have a known racist in their town having, even attempting a march like that? Or even putting that in public, that there's going to be a march in Minneapolis that's going to be a nigger march. A march
That's
against,
crazy.
you know, and Minneapolis let it happen when all the chaos just happened in Minneapolis. I walked from Susan Good to Alex Peretti to George Floyd's memorial the other day, and it's it just blows me away that you have
Yeah.
all these people that are in dire need, but when it comes time to stand up and to make a stand, nobody shows up
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
unless
a
you
lot
have skin,
easier.
Well,
unless you have
we had
skin
a
in the
rally
game.
here. There was a rally
Unless
here
you
not
have
too long
skin
ago
in the
too.
game, you're not going to
Right.
show up, and that's shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a
You
rally
It's a
know,
here
lot
back in
easier.
April when we had a rally here, and I planned it for months. And someone came down for that rally, and it was only me, him, and like four other people that showed.
damn
But it
blizzard
was
got me, man.
It's
I'm
a,
in
the
a
it's a,
blizzard.
blizzard.
It was the blizzard. The
it's a
one
I'm in
big
a
time in
rally.
spring that we
blizzard.
got the blizzard. It was a freak blizzard that happened, but yeah, we were the only ones that showed.
I'm in a
So,
blizzard and a $4,000 suit,
yep.
Yeah.
dealing with her crazy ass. You know what I'm saying? But all that says is I I believe in my sister, and I wanted to be there for her, and I wanted to support her. Uh, the next time that happens, we're gonna do it a lot differently. 'Cause we're gonna
Yes,
make
we
Yeah,
are.
sure. Dang
I
'em,
think it's It's very easy for people to get their panties in a bunch online and talk and use their keyboard and talk shit and try to be
Yes.
social justice warriors. But when it comes to actually leaving their house, putting a beer down or whatever they're doing, leaving the
Right.
house and going down there and trying to create a real change, we're lost on it.
It's too much.
Right.
It's too time consuming.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's too time
Yeah.
consuming.
Yep.
Their time is too important to do nothing with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact
Think
that
about it.
people just don't want to see change because they're so used to the ways that it's been. You know what I mean? And that's another thing. Like people
Being
are so
average.
used to the way
Being
it's been.
average is normal. Being
Right.
average is normal. Being able to exist is normal. Being elite is abnormal.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
because I think most of us came in this world as normal people, but
Yeah.
in order to advance yourself, you have to have that determination. You have to have that will, and you have to have that want.
Yep.
Because if it don't mind, it don't matter. But if it minds,
Right.
it
Yeah.
matters. And a lot of things just don't matter to people unless they're affected by it.
Unless they're going
Yeah.
through it.
That's the
Yep.
truth.
That's
Think
very
about
true.
all the people that are in Colorado Springs, and I hell, I think I know about 30 or 40 people that have been affected by by DSFs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Think about that. How
And it's a
can
lot. It's
you
growing. It's
now?
growing.
How can you take some medicine, go to the doctor, have a baby, and they test you for this medicine, and they know what this medicine is, but yet
And then
they
take
could
them.
still disrupt your life,
Hmm.
and they know that it's a false positive, but yet they can put you through 6 or 8 months of hell because of
Oh,
something that they perceived was wrong.
Do you
actually, I think
think what
it's been about 15 months actually.
Yeah.
16 months.
Do you think what a lot of that is that that's kind of a bureaucracy and they're just dealing with pen and paper and decisions are already made, so we don't have a lot of humanity and a
That there
lot.
and so basically all
But
the research I've done is based off an assessment that's done. And if you have a past, then you're definitely going to be dragged in.
okay,
You're marked. You're marked as from when pretty much the day you were born because I've been involved with DSS. My kids are now marked. So
okay,
Oh yeah.
it's a cycle and it's the one that you can never get
Once you
out
get
of.
in the system, once you get in
Yes,
the system, it's hard to get out.
exactly.
You know, no
I'm
okay.
matter
learning as
what
much
you
as I
do or who
thought.
you are. And
Yep,
that's the
doesn't
sad part,
matter.
man. That is the
Yep,
sad part because
but it's awakening.
it is. Like I said, I wake up every morning and I look at my phone and I see stupid shit like a 60-year-old preacher has been molesting and grooming a girl since the time she was 9 years old.
Yep,
Yeah,
But yet there's a dude that lives 60 miles down the road that stole $45 worth of groceries from the grocery store for his family. That preacher got 6 months. This is in Texas, just happened.
yep,
The
okay,
yep.
preacher gets 6 months, and this guy, they hit him with a three-time felon. So he's got to do life in jail because he was trying to steal something to
Still
feed
to
his
support his
family.
family. Yep. Do you
Tell
know
me
that
that.
happened here? That happened not too long ago. A sheriff here got in trouble for exploiting children, and he got 90 days.
Yeah, now think about this one. This is a bad one here.
Yep.
2 weeks ago, there was a young man in Ruiz in Detroit. They got killed. There were 6 police officers on him. They shot him in the back while he was on the ground. 60 miles down the road, there was this crazy ass white dude that was chasing the police, physically chasing the police, running up, catching him, hitting him, and they were tasing his ass. And he's living. But yet, the black kid is dead.
No, that's crazy.
yeah. That I guess I think that that sort of thing happens somewhat often, and as a white guy, so let's dig into this for a minute. I think as a white guy, I haven't, of course, I'm covered in tattoos. I'm 6'4", 260 pounds. So, I've got a criminal past and criminal record, and I get looked at differently at times. But do you think a lot of that is just systemic, kind of coming from years and years ago, and we have not changed?
Haven't
Because
changed.
yeah, because because years and years ago, right, it was kind of like that. So years and years ago, I know it's so confusing, and I don't have a lot of opinion on it. It's really confusing because racism was very out front and in the open, right? Back in the day, 56 years ago. It was very, and so it was always this clash and always this sort of divisiveness between blacks and whites and all this. And do you think some of that is left over the way the police are doing it right now?
First of all,
Some old school stupid beliefs.
first of all, there wasn't any decisiveness. It was white guy here,
Yeah.
black man here,
Yeah.
white woman here, black woman here. So there's always been a power and control structure in this world.
Right.
Okay.
Think about it, man. Slavery ends, and you create a squad called the Slave Patrol, which is known now as the police, to go and capture slaves and bring them back to the plantation. And this is stupid for me to say, but I'll say it.
Well, I say stupid stuff all the time, so let's just.
Yeah, well, this is stupid for me to say because where was the win for us? Where was the win for us when we were stuck in slavery? We knew that they had to feed us. We had a place to sleep, a place to lay, and we got the hell beat out of us. We got tortured. But
Yeah.
when slavery was over, what happened? You had no place to stay. You had no food to eat, and you had to. That's when they created the chain gang. That's when they
Okay.
created prison. So, well, let's see here. We can't control this monkey or this monster. So, guess what we'll do? We'll lock his ass up, and that's where the institution of prisons was created.
Okay.
The prison system makes more damn money than
Yeah, they
any
do.
company in the world.
And
Think
they
about
do.
that. Because
They
it's
do.
got free slave labor. We're trying to I'm on a group abolish the 14th Amendment, abolish slavery. Because
Okay.
think about it. When you go to jail, you have no rights whatsoever. You got
Yeah.
somebody that's telling you what to do, when to do, how to do it. And dog, you could have got caught for a second DUI, and why am I going to be in a pen with murderers and rapists when I have a non-violent offense?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that bothers me. All these people that are locked up because of smoking marijuana. Hell, marijuana's legal in 36 states, and you still got people that are incarcerated for
Yep.
selling a quarter-pound bag of weed 15 years ago because they got a 30-year sentence and they have not been set free. Tell me how that happens.
Do you think, all right, so do you think that putting people in prison like that around killers and around the rougher side of society, do you think that that can influence them? See, when I was a kid,
Prison,
I grew up in a system and they put me in group homes and I was put around a lot of bad kids. I'm and like just rough around the edges kids. And I just had ADHD, I had medication problems. So they put me around a lot of bad influences, and that kind of set my course in life. Do you think that happens with this?
prison is not a rehabilitation place. Prison
No,
is a place
it
to
isn't.
go to work and to eat. That's what prison is. I'm here in South Dakota. The recidivism rate here is like 75%
Okay.
Native Americans.
Yeah.
In the wintertime, they'll go in a store and they'll take something so they can get locked up.
Yeah.
Well, that is a problem with that individual person itself. His character, his belief system
Yeah.
is shit
Yeah.
because they're thinking, I can't do anything better. So guess what? I always have a backup plan.
Yeah.
I always have a backup plan. My thoughts is this: if you get convicted of a heinous crime, murder, rape, and your ass get a life sentence, make all of your appeals go away in 2 or 3 years, just like Timothy McVeigh,
Okay.
Oklahoma City bombing.
Yeah.
And if your ass gets sentenced to death sentence, guess what? If the crimes was that heinous, where some peers of yours sentence you to that, let's get it done. Because think about this. Why would you feed somebody for 35 or 40 years knowing that you're going to end their life anyhow?
Yeah. Yeah.
If that's the
That's a
case, leave them in there and let them suffer and think about the things that they did their whole life instead of giving them a
yeah.
way out after us paying for it.
Yeah, so that's death penalty versus life. I think life is worse because what you sit on death row for what maybe 5-10 years and then you're done. And then, but if you,
Yeah, but
yeah,
we got to
I
feed your
like
ass.
that.
We got
Yeah,
to feed your ass.
yeah,
You know, it's
yep,
like El Chapo and them. They're in that Supermax down in Colorado Springs, ain't it?
yeah. They're in Colorado. They're in Florence, I believe.
Yep,
Florence.
yep, yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep. Well, Chapo is, and you are paying. We're paying $60,000 a month. I mean, a year for them to stay in that facility, and they will be there until they die.
yeah,
What? Why should we have to split the bill for somebody else's problems, for somebody
yeah.
else's failures? Think about that. Just
And
think
that
about
comes
that.
out of our taxes. Yeah,
That comes
yeah.
out
It
of our
makes sense.
taxes. When I argue with people about police brutality, and people don't understand that we pay for police brutality. The
Okay.
taxpayers are the one that are paying for police brutality.
Yeah, we're coming with that as we pay for their salary, right? It
We
comes
pay
out of
for
our
their
taxes.
salary.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and we pay. No, we also pay for that 20 or 50,000, that $50 million lawsuit that they filed
yeah.
against the police department. That's taxpayers' money.
Okay.
You know, I want to see somewhere, someplace, somehow, where a police officer has to have insurance on them, and they do sort of kind of now, but they need insurance on them. So just like in a car wreck, if it's your fault, guess what? You got to pay. And
Yep.
if a police officer is found guilty of committing a crime, make his insurance pay for that instead of the taxpayers being punished by that. And we'll see how long that happens. Because one, think about this: Derek Chauvin has got $1.6 million in the bank. When he
Okay.
comes out of jail, he's probably gonna have damn near close to $2 million.
Yeah, he's
But
set.
yet, but yet, he was found guilty of murdering somebody on his job and any other job that you have. If they feel your ass is not worthy, they fire your ass. You're done.
Do you?
But
So everybody, I think everyone in the world knows who George Floyd was. Everybody. Like it was headlines. It was front. It was right in front of all of our faces, and there was a lot of divisiveness about that. You had people on
worldwide
one
movement.
side. Yeah, you have one people on one side saying "fuck that." You had people on the other side say no, it was right, and then we get all this divisiveness. But we don't know who George Floyd was before that incident.
George Floyd was a big fool. George
He was
Floyd
a
was a big goofy ass fool that had the most beautiful smile, that had the big gregarious laugh. When he walked in the room at 6'7", looking like a god, because the
he
son of
was
a
that
bitch
tall.
probably had, yeah, he was 6'7". He probably had
Holy shit!
8% body fat when he died.
Yeah,
So you're talking about a monster. You're
yeah.
talking about an absolute monster. Girls look at that big pretty brother and they go like, damn, I want to climb that mountain. You know what I'm saying? He was
Yeah, they
pretty.
want to climb that pole.
He was pretty. And
Yeah,
and he was silly. He was funny. He was humorous. He had charisma. He had swag. He had everything in the world that a person needs to be successful. But he also had an addiction.
yeah. He had an addiction problem.
He had an addiction problem. And most of us do. Most of us are addicted to something. And he made mistakes. He paid for his crimes. He paid for
Yeah,
them. He went to prison. He gets out. He lives in Houston
you're
to
Hey
the
back.
guys,
point. Hey,
I had to go reset the whole router and everything. It was
wow.
I am
retarded.
so sorry.
It's
He
okay.
lived he lived in a place where things aren't forgiven very easily. They're not. You know, when
Okay.
you live in the hood. And he knew that, hey, if I've got to change my location to grow, and he decided to move to Minneapolis to change that location. His mother was His mother was sick. You can lie to anybody in the world. You can't lie to yourself. And all
Yeah.
those times where you said, "Mama, I'm gonna get you a house. Mama, I'm gonna do this for you. Mama, I'm gonna do that for you." And all you do is take, take, and never fulfill your promises to people, immediate family. That's when complications come in at. And then it's one thing to say what I'm going to do and to keep saying it and to keep saying it and to keep saying it. And one day you wake up and that person that has held you down, that has loved you more than anybody in the world, that has had unconditional love for you, dies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And all of those promises and all of those things, guess what? They mean nothing now because you ran
Yeah.
out of time. You ran out of time. All of your stupidity, all of your nonsense has taken that opportunity off the table. Because once you close your eyes, there ain't nothing you can do. There is nothing you can redo, repay, or anything. And that broke him. That literally broke him. And that brought him back to being in these places where you shouldn't be if you have a specific problem. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm doing a Zoom call. Hold on for a second. Y'all.
We, yeah, you're fine.
What did I miss?
Danielle. Danielle. I'm going to
Yes.
ask you a
Anyhow,
question real quick. So,
so
oh,
you know,
go ahead. I
I'm
don't want
back.
to interrupt your train of thought. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you know, it's just bad to see somebody suffer, and
Yeah, a lot of people
I
turn to addiction because they're running from something in their life.
that's what
And
addiction is. But
yeah,
that normally happens in modern and marginalized communities.
okay,
Why do you think? Why do you think poor people go to jail more? Why do you think poor people have more babies? Why do you think poor people are more distressed or more oppressed? Because they let that stick on their brain,
yeah,
and that's all they need to suppress that with something. And a lot of times it's alcohol, it's drugs. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's with
yeah,
sex. That's the reason why you used to see people having so many kids, you
yep,
know? So we
yep,
have to clear their mind and fix that mind. But in George's case, he met a girl. He met a girl, and that girl had habits that he didn't have. And you know how just some people are. Hey, you know what? I got to
yeah,
figure out a way. I like this dude. I can figure out a way how to keep him around.
If you can't beat
yeah.
them,
And
join them. That's what they say.
and she opened the door, and he walked right through it.
You
And
know, I'm a big believer that a woman can ruin a man's life, and a man can ruin a woman's life in the wrong
yeah, well,
circumstance.
you have you have your own thought process, but I don't know if y'all know. I know that if you're under the influence of narcotics,
Yeah.
there is a potential opportunity for it to go south
Oh
and
yeah.
north.
Majority of the time, that's where it goes, is south.
Yeah.
It goes south.
I know that
It
very
goes,
good, very
So
well.
do I. Too well.
and that particular day, I have no doubt in my mind that George did not think that that was a counterfeit $20 bill, which nobody knows now because it's not important.
Yeah.
Nobody knows now. But I know one
Well,
thing: that store is selling counterfeit $20 bills at George Forces with my nephew's face on it, making hundreds and thousands of dollars a year.
yeah, they capitalize on that. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I like the parallel you drew there with so we're talking about George Floyd and putting him in a very human light, and I like that. And he's a human. He had problems, he had good things, he had bad things, and
Right.
then when the system bumps into that, the system is not human. Okay,
Right.
the
System don't care.
system,
The system
The
doesn't care at
system
all.
runs off protocols and this and that. So
Not even
that,
protocols. Some of the times it's their own
Yep.
agenda. That
Yep.
people,
yeah,
their
it
own
seems to
agenda.
me like that's kind of the disconnect right there.
Hmm.
You
People
know,
get on a power trip. It's a power trip that they get on.
it all is. It's power and
Yeah,
Hmm.
control, man. It's power and
yeah.
control.
Yep. And
Think
that's what
about
happened in
this.
my case too. Same thing. Power trip.
I
Power
was
trip.
we were talking to somebody last night, and tell me how this makes sense.
Okay.
How does this make sense to lock a man up in jail for child support?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, lock
yeah.
him up. Let's say $2,000 or $3,000 in child support, and lock him up for 3 or 4, 5 years. Then he comes out, and he owes $10,000 or $15,000 in child support.
Yep.
How does
And
that make sense? How does that
That
make
makes no
sense?
sense. Doesn't
there's
make any
one
sense.
thing. There's one thing about that I've never been able to wrap my mind around is that if you get behind on child support, they take away your driver's license.
They do.
They take
How
away
are
your
you going to go
driver's
to work?
license. How are you
Hmm.
going to fucking work? Then you're
Exactly.
further back behind. So I think the system has a
The
bit. There are a
system
lot
was
of
created
flaws.
to keep your
There's a
ass
lot of
in it.
flaws. There is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Think
It's
about
because it's
that.
all
Think
about
about
money
that.
to them. It's all about money. So if they're locked up,
That's all
they're still
about.
getting money
That's
for
all about
them.
money.
You know what I mean? It's all it is.
Think
It's
about
money.
that.
Kids are
You
money.
have a
People are
child
money, and
support
that's all we
payment,
are to them is a dollar bill or a dollar sign. That's all it
and
is to
you're
anybody.
working, and literally they will lock your ass up so you can't pay your
Hmm.
child support. And then
Yeah.
when you have a meeting and says, okay, you're $20,000 down in child support, I was only $3,000 down before they locked my ass up for 5 years over child
Right, and
support.
that's what I'm saying. Like
How
they
can
should
they
be
do that?
counting them locked up. They should be counting them being locked up because as an inmate, you get money for per inmate as well. The DOC
Mhm.
system
Oh
does.
yeah,
Like it's all about
thirty-eight
dollar.
thousand
Yeah.
dollars a
Hmm.
year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Per person.
the
Per person.
system was designed for people to get ahead. It seems like it's designed for people to get ahead and for people to control other people.
If you're in
Uh,
this class to get ahead on, because if you're in the lower class,
So
then you're the ones being controlled. You know,
so
we're
because
the ones that are the
Danielle,
guinea pigs.
let's switch gears for a minute. Danielle, you come from a very, very personal place. And you are also pushing for change. What
Yes.
happened in your life and how were you able to turn that pain to purpose?
So right now, what I'm fighting is the biggest fight I've ever fought. My kids were taken over, I guess, April 2025 over a power trip, over an assessment that happened that was more because of my past than anything. Everybody has a past, and I've learned from my past. I've changed completely
Yes.
from who I was,
Yeah.
and they used that against me. And so currently I'm going through the hardest trip of my life. I've never been in trouble a day in my life. I have 4 felonies hanging over my head right now. And over something of a power trip of a caseworker who was on a power trip who I told her she wasn't going to do something and she's like, okay. And she went and did it anyway. So it's being in a position of power and using it for bad is what I see. And
How
like, so I've been pushing for change. I've been pushing and I've got the whole United States is waking up. There's a lot of things happening right now in the United States with CPS and DSS and the people are starting to see for themselves how much of a power trip they are, how they're selling kids for cash. It's kids for profit. Like they're making money off of our children. And it's over Title 40 and 4E funding that is given to us by the by the federal government. It's given to each state.
hello,
And the more people that are in foster care, the more money we get as a state. So
okay.
it's a
Yeah.
power trip and it goes all the way up to the top. Like it's all about money. That's all it's
damn
ever
I
been.
don't
Colorado
It's
think
about
Springs.
money.
yeah, see, I don't think a lot of us are aware of how that exactly works. How did you connect with it Selwyn? Is that is that correct?
Clock's still
Uncle
going.
Selwyn, yes. I connected with Uncle Selwyn because we were part of a group that were
Okay.
the we're whistleblowers is what we are.
Okay.
Is we're pretty much we're telling everybody what is really going on. Like because people don't see that for themselves. They see what they see on social media, but unless you're involved in it or you're part of it, you have no idea the hell that comes along with it. And it's been hell. I've been fighting tooth and nail to get my kids home, and they're hanging on to me because they know that I won't shut up, and I won't. But I'm
Have
just
you
trying to
made
show up for change and push for change, and I've done a lot. I've done a lot of. We went to Boston for that DSS rally. I've just been pushing and trying to do as much as I can. I've done a lot here in the city, trying to advocate for people, and that's why they don't like me is because I advocate for others and tell them what it
have
is.
you what kind of progress have you made toward your case?
So for my case, right now I've got lawyers that are on my side that are amazing.
Welcome
Um,
back.
Hey man, it's
so,
that damn Colorado Springs internet, man. Damn
I was
Colorado
going to blame
Springs
it on North
internet, man.
Carolina.
Mm.
No, I'm in South Dakota.
But
Oh,
Uncle
South
Sal and I,
Dakota. That's what I was going
we
to
were
blame it on.
we came together to for the cause. Like he's all for the
Okay.
cause as well, advocating. He's an advocate, he's an activist, and that's exactly what I want to do, and that's what I've been doing, is the
I
advocating for others and being pro. Like everybody should have their own. Everybody's got their own story. Like some
everybody's
people,
got a
like
story.
yeah, and some kids, like there are some kids that do deserve to be in the system. There are because they are abused and neglected. But the ones that are being taken from families because of just because or because that they without findings or without them doing the investigation they're supposed to do, like it's wrong. And a lot of the families here are being taken advantage of like that because of their past, because people have past, because people have been criminals and have history. And that's the
Yeah.
part that I'm trying to change the most, is for them to go back and reevaluate, because the assessment that they do is like an AI assessment that they do online. They type in for 5 questions, and if 3 out of 5 questions, they take your kids or
Okay.
yes. So it's just it's a system that's corrupt, and it's so corrupted here and everywhere. It's all over the United States, and everybody's standing up, and it's starting to
Yeah.
come to light.
I've seen a lot of I've heard of a lot of tragedy stories.
Hmm.
How you leave your kids in the car in the front yard while you're running your house,
Yeah.
and you come back out and there's numerous cops around like you robbed the place,
Hmm.
and all you did is go from car to your house
Yeah.
and back outside.
Yeah.
So
And then people treat me like I'm a criminal, and I'm not.
yeah,
I've never
a
been in
lot
trouble
of
with in my life.
times, a lot of times, there's an abuse of power in all aspects. There always has been, and now it's got to the point where it don't matter whether you black, blue, green, yellow, purple, or orange.
Hmm.
If the system is designed to exploit your ass if you're at a certain level,
Right.
and that's what I see. Now, it used to be focused on all black people.
Yeah.
Now, it's focused on all people. If you're in the marginalized community, if you don't make an X amount of dollars a year,
Yep.
if you
Yeah.
don't do an X amount of thing, your ass is suspect
Yep.
to get put in bad situation. Because this is reality. I've gone to, I don't know, 65 plus funerals in the last 7 years. And I've been to black funerals, Hispanic funerals, Caucasian funerals. Death hasn't a color.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Death don't have a color. Power and control has a color.
Right. And that's how I feel
Let's
is
go
going on here
back.
too.
Let's go back to 2000. I believe it was 2000, May 25, 2020.
20. Yeah.
What were you doing? How did you find out that that had happened? And what did you go through when, like, who were you before that? So this is going to be a multifaceted question. Who were you before that? Um, how did you find out? What were you doing? And what I'm sure that's what prompted you to be such an outspoken activist for social change. But who were you before that, and how do you find out?
I was a old ex football player, vacuum cleaner salesman, laughing, rootin' tootin' son of a gun, riding in Cadillacs and Escalades like Ric Flair, styling and profiling, limousine driving, selling
That
vacuum
sounds like my
cleaners,
kind of guy.
you know, selling vacuum cleaners, making money, just laughing, being a fool. The same person that you see here now, same person you see George Floyd. Fun, acting like a fool, enjoying people, having people enjoy us. Us, when you walk in a room, we're the two loudest people in there because we're the two characters. And when you're poor, when you grew up poor, I grew up shitting in a bucket with no window plumbing, no running water in rural North
Yeah,
Carolina. Laughter was free. So I can make you laugh at the drop of a dime. When you sell things, the easy think about this: Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota. There ain't no black people in those states.
not a whole lot of them.
That's where I sold
No.
my vacuum cleaners at. You know what I'm saying? So I go in an old Caucasian farmer's house, and I'd talk shit to him about how many four wheelers he had when there was only one ass to get on them. You know what I'm saying? How many tractors you need? Oh, I got 7 or 8. How many can you drive at one time? One. Hot damn, son. How many guns you got? Well, I got about 200. How many can you shoot at one time? Hunting season only the period of time. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was. I laughed and joked, and George played softball and a maniac. And COVID came, and one day I wake up, and my wife, she's sweet. She used to make our babies wake up, get dressed as you're going to school, and they'd sit in front of a computer. That's
Yep.
the reason why they're good little kids. You know,
Yeah.
she's a rocket scientist. So she kept them through the system. Wake up, you do your homework by 1 o'clock, you're out of school.
Yeah. The
Well,
discipline of it.
yep. So I woke up one morning about 7:30, and that was earlier. That was back then. I'm on black
Yeah.
time now completely. I don't get up before 10. So
I
so
think
when
that's
y'all were texting me at 10:30 this morning, I'm laughing my ass off because I'm thinking, damn, D know better than this. You know what I'm saying? She know
I
better than
should have
this.
known better. I should have
Yeah,
known better.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They ain't no moving around this bitch until about 10 o'clock. I'm just telling you that. And I'm sitting there, and I walk in uh the room where they were in. We're actually
yeah.
staying at the motel at the time. And my mother-in-law was standing in the doorway, and my wife was sitting down. And I walked in, and I remember making the statement, damn, did y'all lose your best friend? Did somebody die or something? And nobody said anything. Now, Ahmaud Arbery had just been murdered. Breonna Taylor got murdered in February. Ahmaud Arbery got murdered in March. So these are things that I've seen, and I've seen the Eric
Yeah.
Gardners and the Philly Castillos. I've seen all of these people. I live in South Dakota. There's no black people, so there's days go by where I won't see another black person unless they're mine. So I hate that. Me coming from the South, me growing up in that shit, me growing up in Ku Klux Klan territory, I
Yeah.
hate them. So my anger goes off the chart when I see a black dude get killed by a white guy. It's like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? When are they going to stop doing this shit, man?
Because that's a
And
little more personal for you.
yep, and I'm looking at television and I'm feeling sorry for this guy.
Yeah.
Damn, they're beating the brakes off his ass, man. They're going to kill him. Look at this. I'm showing you exactly what happened.
Yeah.
After about 2.5 minutes of watching that video of me getting mad, and normally Joy and them will cut the television off or they'll change the channel because they don't want me looking at shit like that. I own a motel. And during that time,
Okay.
white people would come, white people, rednecks would come with the Trump flag. We need a room. That we full. They ain't a car in the parking lot. We ain't got no rooms. They ain't no vacancies. You know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you can't do that if you want to make money. And my sister calls me, and this is how it was. And I sat back and I watched just like everybody else in the world did at 7:35 in the morning. And we were waiting for him to die. Whoever watched that video, you were sitting back and you realized that that guy had no opportunity to live. You waited for him to die. And that's how I found out. I sat there and I was just so pissed off and mad. I'm feeling bad for this dude. I'm feeling bad for his family. I'm feeling bad for my blackness. Wow, won't this shit stop? And it's my big sister's baby boy. It's a young man that I went to Minneapolis for 26 times over a span of 10 and a half months because I knew he was hurting.
Yeah.
He showed up late at his mama's funeral because he realized all those things he told her that he was going to do for her. He didn't have an opportunity anymore.
Yeah.
And that blew him away. So anytime I heard his voice, and we're all grown, we know the sound of that voice. You know, hey man, what you doing up? Nigga, I'll see you in a minute. Whoops, I'm sorry. I'll see you in a minute. What's wrong with your voice? No. I'll see you in a minute. I'll see you in a minute. 4.5 hours later, I'm chasing his ass down, find out why are you doing this to yourself? You know? And I sat back after the acknowledgement came that that was my nephew. And I seen every bad thing that's ever happened to me. I seen every bad thing that's ever happened to anybody that didn't want any of this, the division. I seen dogs shit on people. I seen people being called niggas. I seen people being hung, lynching. I seen all of these things that came before my eyes. It's like an epiphany. I seen all these things. And I promised myself that day that there would never be a day that would go by that I did not stand up and try to make an impact. Just simple. And you know, my wife told me earlier, she's like, damn fool, you've been doing this for 7 years. Don't you think it's time to get some money now? And I don't know, this ain't about, it's never been about money to me
Yeah.
because I could have taken money a long time ago.
See, and that was the
And
thing with Unc. When I met him, that was one of the things he brought me out of the darkness that I was in. I was in a real dark place. I didn't see that waking up every day was a blessing. I didn't see
Mhm.
because I didn't have my kids. My kids weren't there. That's my life.
It's
And so
really
when
hard to
I met
it's really
him,
hard
I
to
was
keep
in
that
a really dark
perspective.
place. Exactly. And so he
you
brought
know,
that to light. But he also
I,
told me that he had all the opportunity in the world to take money and he didn't.
yeah,
He didn't
Yeah.
take the money. He didn't take the gag. They wanted to gag him and he wouldn't.
yeah. Think
So
about
that was
that.
a really respectful thing.
All my nieces and nephews, and all these other people that you see, and all these cases that happen, where are they at?
Yeah.
The only people that advocate really are people that are still having ongoing cases.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
once they give you that money, and they say, hey, listen, these are your choices now. You don't have any. You take this 5, 6, 7, 8, $10 million, and you pay that $4 million on taxes. You pay your lawyer $X million, and by the time you get $10 million, by the time you get in your account, you've got 1.8.
Yeah.
Then if he's got kids, you got to split it up between them. So what you did is you traded money for blood, your
Yeah.
blood. And you know, and I
Just
don't
sold
blame
out.
anybody. I don't blame anybody for what they got going on. But
Right.
the only person you see advocating in my family is me. And
Do
I
you
don't know whether that's because I'm crazier than hell. I guarantee you, we took a little consensus after George died,
yeah.
and we the question was asked, out of everybody in the family, who would they have figured would have gotten killed by police? Guess who everybody came up with?
Oh,
You.
Me. I get stopped by the police, and there's a couple of things I need. I need for you to take my license. I need for you to take my information. I need for you to go to your car, do what you got to do. As I'm saying yes sir and no sir, dumbing up to a grown ass man, because we have to dumb up to a grown ass man with my hands on the steering wheel,
yeah.
and me telling him, you go do this shit as fast as you can do it, sir. If you need for me to get out of the car and come out there, I'll be glad to. Because I'm not going to stand here and listen at you belittle me and talk to me like a dog. Because the only thing that's going to happen is I'm going to get shot and you might get hit in the mouth.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to take your shit. Just because you got a little star on your chest don't mean that you got the right to dehumanize people, to
Right.
disrespect people in any way, shape, or form. So let's go on and get this shit done. I got stopped. I was passed out in the parking lot, and I had 3 guns in the car. Police come up there, and they were talking shit. I was like, listen, if we gonna go to jail, let's go.
Yeah.
I really got a headache. I really would love to go to sleep, back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And we can deal with this shit tomorrow. This son of a bitch is man, go on and go. Just go. No, no, no. Jory came to pick me up. Joey came to pick me up and left the guns in the car. You know,
Yeah.
so I I just believe that our present, the present air that we breathe, there has been put some hate modules in the air, and if you're not certain people, a certain race, it's gotten more defined than it used to be.
Do
Because
you?
before George Floyd, there was two types of people. There was people that could read, people that didn't want to read. And the people that didn't want to read, they had to read because it got their face shoved in it. That this is how police brutality works with black folks. A traffic stop should not be a death penalty. And then there were people that said, hey, you know what? We're going to go from one side to the other. And guess what? That's where all this separation comes in at. And this is something that I always like to bring up. If you remember January 6th,
Yes, when they overtook the White House, right?
Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely.
how many graves would there have been for black people? If there were 10,000 people there, which there was about 25,000 people there, how many people
Yeah.
would be dead if they were black?
So
Think about that.
with
Yeah.
it becoming, because it became a huge political issue with George Floyd.
Hmm. Think about
Huge
that.
political. There was so much division. A
Hmm.
lot of people were divided simply based on politics.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they
So
had
well,
lost their
that's majority.
humanity.
That's all it
Like
is
we're
politics
sitting over here
when it comes
judging
down to
this based on our
it.
political beliefs, and we're not
Right.
being humans anymore. What do you wish people would have stopped arguing long enough to understand from the families that have gone through this?
I preach 9 minutes and 29 seconds. That's what I preach.
Yeah.
Because nothing before 9 minutes and 29 seconds bothers me. It bothers me as a black man having to see the shit that I've seen in my life, but it didn't matter what happened that day. It didn't matter about no counterfeit, whatever. It didn't matter about anything. It mattered about that 9 minutes and 29 seconds that my nephew was taken advantage of and was forced in a position that he couldn't win in. And the world saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with COVID, and and COVID was horrible. I lost my mother-in-law, my favorite person of all time, probably. I lost her to COVID. And what I'm telling you
I'm
is
sorry.
these things all happened for a reason. Okay, because we hadn't had any movement in the black community in years. Yes, Obama was the president. I reckon he did the best he could, but that wasn't a movement. That wasn't a movement. Because something had to happen at that particular time in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we needed something to ignite change, to ignite acknowledgement. Hell.
Yeah.
And when an 80-year-old person calls me and tells me that they're sorry for what happened to my nephew, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe because an 80-year-old person, hell, their family were what, three or four generations from having slaves?
Yeah.
Down south, an 80-year-old person won't talk to a black person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boy, I got
That's
nothing to say
still,
to you. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's still going
So
on. Yeah.
it gave us an opportunity to have the police to be accountable because before George Floyd, there wasn't no accountability. He
Right.
could do whatever the fuck he wanted to.
Yeah. Mhm.
And he made him accountable. So his death escalated all of these things that people were not doing and you had to do because of a black man got killed in Minneapolis, Minnesota by four police officers
Yeah.
for an alleged $20 bill.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
When did a $20 bill become a life sentence?
Yeah.
Never.
That when was
Alex
that? When
Paredes.
was that worth a life?
Yep,
Right.
Alex Paredes, Susan Good. Uh, at most, disorderly conduct,
Right.
but they're dead. And think about Nolan Wales. Think about all these people and all these scenarios that we're going through right now because of somebody's hatred towards another.
Right.
And keep in
Out of
mind, man,
spite.
you're not white. You're a shade of tan. I'm not
Yeah.
black. My throat is black. I'm not
Yeah.
black. I'm a darker shade of tan than you are.
We are
So, you
human.
know,
We're all
we're
That's what I
human.
human.
like. I
We are
like to
human
project
beings.
that. Yeah.
We are human beings. We came here with a day to leave. We got a number. We got a
Yeah.
date.
Oh yeah.
And why not make this world a better place before we came in? Because it's been hell
Hmm.
the last 60 years. And think about this, y'all. When is it going to get better? The only way it gets better is people like us keep having these conversations. And Kevin, no disrespect, uh,
I, I
th-
believe me. I'm not sensitive.
this is the beauty part. Because in any other aspect in life, I would have probably communicated with a crazy ass like you with tattoos and all your shit because
I
that's just
already
who I
know.
am. That's just who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
know.
go to the store. I go to the store. And my wife said, "Listen, come on, man, we gotta go. You've been here for
Yeah.
45 minutes talking to this midget. We gotta go." Anyhow, oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, small person, small person, small person, and you can't say that. You can't say that. Small person, small person. You know, so I will give people an opportunity to communicate with me because I want to talk. I've always wanted to talk to people, but
Yeah.
now it's way different because people ask me why I don't smile. Do I really? When I wake up, hold on. Let me show you this. These are things. These are things that I wake up and that are on my phone. Maybe you can see them. Maybe you can't.
Yeah. I see it.
Wait,
Yeah.
look at this. Now,
Yeah. That's sad.
you know who that is?
No.
That's Kendrick Johnson. He goes to school in Georgia. And that's a young man that went to school and they found him wrapped up in a wrestling mat. They said he did this to himself. And then he wrapped himself up in a wrestling mat. But he cut his intestines out.
Do you see any change at all since George Floyd? Has there
I,
been positive, negative, and at the same time, two-part question? Do you think it's possible to support the good police officers while still holding the other ones accountable? And where do we find that line?
uh, the problem I have is there's a good old boy system.
Yeah.
It's just like if me and you're working together and we're working on a house and you don't put a bracket on and if that bracket don't seem like it's important to me, especially on a rafter, guess what? Go ahead. Let's keep
Yeah.
it moving. Same principle with the good old boy system. If you know, everybody knows who they're working with. And you know, if you're working with somebody that's a time bomb waiting to explode, you know that.
Yeah. You picked
And
that
for
up pretty
you
quick.
not and for you not to say anything about it, you're just as guilty as he is.
Right.
You're just as guilty. I find it hard to believe that you've got 50 people in a police station and people don't point out people and say, hey man, listen, you can't do this. And that's what's got to happen, but that will never happen because it's too much of a bro code. Literally, it's too much of a bro code.
Yeah.
How does it, there are psychological evaluations. Once your ass uh, gets convicted of harming somebody, uh, in my mind, if you were negligent, if it was the iffy thing, yeah. But if you were negligent and your ass got found guilty, you need to lose your opportunity to become a peace officer. You need to be on a registry so you can't work anywhere to take anybody else's life. Think
Right.
about this. Grayson that killed Sonia Massey, he'd worked at 6 different police departments in 3 years. He's had 2 DUIs. Now,
Holy shit.
that ain't a time bomb. And the problem that I have is you get online and you literally have people tell you, you're wrong. You're wrong,
Yeah.
Uncle Selwyn. I don't care if you did the first rally for Sonia Massey. I don't care if you talked to Sonia Massey's parents an hour after it happened. I don't care about any of that. You're wrong. Because she was going to throw a pot of water at a 6'3", 220-pound man from 25 feet away, and he was threatened for his life.
Yeah.
How stupid is that for you to say to me?
Yeah.
And and how it generally goes, seeing is believing. And if you're gonna literally tell me that Sonia Massey threatened Mark Grayson to the point of her shooting her in the face 2 times with a 40 caliber, that she deserved that, you are a dumb motherfucker. You have no idea how many times I have people to try to debate or try to combat things that I know or that I say because of the emotional attachment to things.
Right.
You know, I don't care what kind of police officer you are. I don't care what kind of peace officer you are. I don't care what kind of doctor you are. I don't care what kind of black person you are, or white person you are. They're bad and good in all races and all human beings and all things. And
Yeah.
the people that can identify that have that higher anarchy, or whatever you want to call it, the hierarchy, they should be
Hierarchy.
responsible for they should be responsible for the people below them. And
For
that's
being,
just
they
being
should be more.
if you're the chief of police and you have one of your deputies pop somebody, guess what?
Yeah.
Your ass need to be in trouble too. It's just like the
Should be
little
more
kid in
outspoken.
Georgia. It's just like the little kid in Georgia that brought the gun to school. I have a big issue with this.
Yeah.
You bring a gun to school, you kill up 5 or 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 people, and you're 15 years old. Where'd you get that gun from?
Yeah.
Your parents bought it for you.
Yeah.
And in Atlanta,
I
they
like that
finally going to
parallel.
handle Kyle Rittenhouse, 16 years old. He killed 2 people, shot one person's arm off, and they acquitted him. Tell me how that works.
Yeah, I wasn't really, I didn't pay a lot of attention to any of it back then. I was dealing with the loss of my leg. I was going through, and come coming from me, it's
Do you have a
hard.
Do
So
you have a scratch?
George Floyd's death didn't affect me at all, and I didn't put really two thoughts into it. And I think that's where a lot of us come from. That if we can maybe put ourselves in somebody else's spot, or we can all openly communicate like this without the political division, without the
Mm-hmm.
divisiveness that naturally comes between us. I think that might be a step for change because
This
I'll tell you flat out, it didn't affect me at all. I did not put one thought into it because I was not affected.
this is this is the only way that we make change.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You're a male. Males have, we got big nuts. You know,
All right.
most women that are married, when their babies get into a traumatic situation, police brutality or rape or things like this, they normally end up divorced because a husband cannot attach to his emotional side to want to be
Yeah.
comfortable. So I've seen a lot of that shit. Husbands leave. Matter of fact, I've got a deal in Pine Ridge, South Dakota, where a little boy got killed, and right in front of his grandparents' house. He went outside to see what it was, and they shot him. And the husband left the mama, and he's been dead, what, 50 days today? 51 days.
Holy
But the
shit.
husband left the mama because the husband got tired of the woman putting all her time and energy and being depressed over her son.
That's a
So they're
very hard
separated.
thing.
And
Yeah,
that's
that's
and
a
that's
very hard
hard.
thing.
That's hard on both sides. But
Yeah.
men don't have that. Men don't have that. A lot of men don't have that Y gene.
No, we can't.
Let your
You
emotions go.
cannot meet logic with emotion.
Nope.
You
Nope.
cannot, logic and emotion cannot exist in the same space.
Right.
And a lot of
Nope.
us are just logical and we're like, what the fuck? Get over it. Right? Like
Yep.
we don't process grief the same as men
Right.
and
Nope.
women. We don't like there is a huge split between us. And that's another thing where I think we should all be talking about. I think that men and women should come together in that also.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Let's be real. Uh, we have most men are chauvinistic. Most men would prefer a woman to be shut up, to look pretty, and just stand behind me, not beside me.
Right.
And that's where it's been our whole existence.
Yeah.
And I don't. And you asked me a question earlier. Do you think things have changed? There's been a couple of things that have changed, but will there ever be enough change? Will there be change to the point where I myself feel like I can walk in the dark down a street in my hometown? Well, you look at this. Before George Floyd happened, I was Miles Jones. That's what people call me around here. My wife's from here. My mother-in-law had a big ass farm. So my house is damn near 7,000 square feet. You know, I've always driven, I've always eaten like everybody else. Football helped me out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you move to a town where there's 1,200 people. There's no black people besides you at that particular
Yeah.
time. And
Yeah.
now you got two babies and you got some friends. And I've been in everybody's house. People have been to my birthday parties at my house and Christmas parties. I've been in everybody's house in town. We're at the softball field playing softball with all my equipment on May the 25th. And in 7 hours, I left about 10:30, 11 o'clock when I packed my shit up. So in about 8 hours and a half, I go from Miles being okay to Miles asking to go back to Africa.
Yeah.
You know, we had a Confederate flag on our patch out here. I got it taken off. And I had somebody write F off nigga beside of a wall, and they left it there for 6.5 months. I've been poisoned. And they told the person that poisoned me, you can leave. We'll deal with this. I've got arrested at a park where I've been shooting basketball at for 5 years, taken to jail, and had to do a week because of my opinion. My opinion was, you piece of shit, let somebody poison me, and you let them walk out and say, I could arrest you, but I'm not going to, and you think I have any respect for your ass?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So every time I see you, I'm going to tell you how I feel about you. That's the reason why most of my family said they figure I'd be the one to getting killed. Because I'm not going to walk around and hold shit on my head. I'm not going to let nobody hold me emotionally hostage anymore. Did that growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
But I tell somebody if their mother would have drank them, I wouldn't have to deal with their ass. Or they're probably the sorriest thing that ever come from a woman. And I have to go to jail for 6 days because of threatening police. Threatening police. And I didn't threaten them. I told them what I felt about them.
Yeah.
I asked them to take that nigger sign off of had that dude paint his house, that nigger sign. You know what
Yeah.
I was told? Move out, go back to Africa. Move to Africa.
Yeah.
So
That's you live in a very, very small town. I think it's still um I think you find that everywhere, but maybe not as heavy as you find it in those small towns down south
I believe
that
in peace. No, I'm in South Dakota. I'm in South Dakota.
yeah,
Remember, I believe in peace, but I also remember an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to come to a realization that we're all human beings, and we all coming for just a little bit of time. And stop uh, ruining people's lives. I'm trying to send you this dumbass picture, but I can't find it. But stop ruining people's lives
okay,
and families because of their own perception, and that's what
yeah,
happens. You know, why should Danny have to go 15 months spending an ungodly amount of money having to be homeless, having to do all of these things because she had a cold and went to the hospital to get help.
Yep.
How does that work?
And because
How does that work? Somebody that's never ever been to jail. How does that work? And you go to the hospital because you're sick to have a baby, and you get yourself put in a bad situation.
Yeah.
So,
And
is the
that's,
system gotten better? Will the system ever be a correct system? No. Because as long as there are emotions involved in this, it's never going to be a correct system. But then, what do? Do you get an AI generated program where you say, okay, this guy stole a car, he was driving 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. What do? You put it in the Al and have Al give you the sentence?
yeah, I think that just removes humanity from it even more. But if we've got a human problem, right? Because it seems like we have a human problem sometimes. So we all want to
We do have a
express our
we do
own
have a human
form.
problem.
Yeah, we all want to express our own form of humanity, and we're all coming from our own little closed off. A lot of us are coming from our own little closed off biases and our
Mhm.
opinions and our emotions. And a lot of us don't have to put up with any of what we've talked about today. Like we don't feel it. And so we lost
I
Danielle
used
again,
I used to
unfortunately.
I used to have to dog. You have no idea how bad it was for a year and a half. I haven't been in a store in my town in 6 years, in 7 years almost. Because all you have to do is tell me how you feel about me, and I'll believe you.
Yeah,
And when I see you write shit
you're back.
on
I don't know
the
why it keeps kicking me out, but it keeps kicking me out.
because it's that I told you about that Walmart internet. You don't need to keep
Shut
listening.
up. I have
Well,
the best internet in
she
town,
keeps
okay?
she keeps
Yeah,
making it back.
yep. That Walmart internet and them straight talk phones. You don't need
No,
them,
yeah.
man.
No, yeah.
They don't work good. They don't work good. But man, one day I know this will never happen because everybody my age has to die. Everybody over 55 has to die before this things change. And we leave it to people like yourself, Danielle, that 35 to 40 age. We need for y'all to step up and we need for y'all to get your brain right because y'all that's when ass whooping stop being allowed in school.
Yeah,
Right.
Around that 35 to 40 mark. That's when they
yeah,
start whooping their ass. So
yeah.
Yep.
we need to revert back to things for our kids that was taken away from y'all. Because think about this. How many times did your daddy have to say, hey to you? How many times did your daddy have to tell you to do something?
Yeah, we were born in a different generation.
He
I
gave you that
think
look.
we were definitely. It was
He
a
gave you that
little.
look. He gave you that look. If he told you to feed the cows and you come home and it's 5:55 and you know them cows that'll be fed by 6 o'clock, he'll look at you. And that look said, I'm gonna bust your ass if you don't go do what I told you to do.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I make the rules. And guess what? Everybody breaks the rules now. If I'm a baby, I want to be in my bedroom with my $600 PlayStation. Hey, what do you got? PlayStation Max? Yeah, there you go. I want to be in my room where my $600 PlayStation Max is. I do. I want to be with my computer and my cell phone. I want to be where all my games are. And most parenting is at an all-time low. It's at
Well,
an
we've become
all-time low.
extremely lazy as parents. We've become extremely
Yes.
lazy,
Losing drive.
and then society is pushing us also to in a different direction than we've been. But I think a lot of that. I think you're absolutely correct. I think a lot of that stuff needs to come back. I think we need to be more involved and quit being so fucking lazy as parents.
You sit around your kids come home and they're sitting there at Thanksgiving. They come home from college and they're sitting around texting when we're eating and they're texting each other. Hey, you want to go to the bar? Well, no. Dad's probably gonna get pissed off. And I snatched their phone from them and y'all texting yourself at the damn and we're eating and y'all are texting yourself talking about going to what the hell wrong with y'all?
That's the way it's done now. That is exactly the way it is
Now
done now.
you got the biggest mouth dad that's ever lived, and all he does is talk.
Yeah,
And you're sitting here and you're texting each other, "Hey, let's go to the bar. Let's go
yeah,
to the bar after we get through with this." No communication. So yeah, so we got a rule. You could. I don't get on my phone. I leave my phones in the car. And I
yep,
remember there was a day when I always took them, and now I leave. You're the first person, the last person I'll talk to today. Just simple because of my. I'm tired and wore out. I'm wore out of hearing everybody's uh, sob story in
yeah,
many ways of why they're put in the situation that they're in when most of the time 99% of the times you're your own worst enemy.
yeah. We shoot ourselves in the foot
Yep,
more
you're
than
your own
anyone else
worst
does.
enemy.
It seems like.
What could you have done to not to put yourself in the situation you put yourself in?
Yeah,
First
a
thing,
lot of
first
us
thing I
don't.
ask people now. The
A
first
lot
thing
of
I
us
ask
don't
people now.
understand the agency that we have, and a lot of times we're the common denominator in our own lives.
Simple,
Yeah,
simple. You know,
yeah. The good
uh,
things, the bad things, we have to take credit for all of that.
Danielle getting sick. Yeah,
Yes.
Danielle getting sick was her problem. Should have got sick and had a baby. Think about that. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess that could be
yeah.
spun
You should have
differently.
just suffered. Now think about this, y'all. If she would have suffered and not have taken medicine, would that made her a better mother or worse mother?
Yeah, that's not even. Yeah,
Think about this, kids. What would it had affected? The only thing it affected is how her body responded and how she came around.
yeah,
Had nothing to do with the baby having one eye or any of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So
And
in
she got penalized for being sick.
so
Think
in
about that.
closing, I want to apologize first of all, Danielle. I am so sorry we didn't get to more of your story today. I sincerely
It's the damn
apologize.
internet. Your internet.
It's, yeah, we're gonna blame it on you. It's your fault. What are you doing? So with a takeaway, so I've got a couple closing traditions and then wrapping up. To take away, if someone watches this episode, what is one thing from me to you that you would want them to think about tomorrow morning when they wake up? One thing that you would want them to stick with them that might create not maybe even widespread change, but I think widespread change starts individually. So what do you what would you want someone to wake up tomorrow and think about when they watch this episode?
Dream. Go ahead. You go. You go first.
Go ahead. Yeah. And a lot of times that starts in our own lives.
Mhm.
A lot of times, yeah, like some people say, make your bed. Start small and then work your way out. And I like that. Thank you.
Dream, breathe, deliver. That's my mantra. Dream, breathe, deliver. Everything starts with a dream. Then you have that breathing point. Most people breathe for their whole life.
Yeah.
Well, I've got more yesterdays than I do tomorrows.
Yeah. They get stuck in preparation too.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's 2 days you can't do anything about. That's yesterday and tomorrow. So we have to live in the now. So I
So
want
yeah, I
people
think
to I
go ahead.
want people to
Go ahead.
understand that all you have to do is never give up and believe in you and believe in what you're doing and who you are. And things happen, things can change. You can go from one
I like
day
that.
from being sad and blue to waking up tomorrow knowing that, hey, pessimist, optimist. A
Yeah.
pessimist thinks, well, have a good day. An optimist thinks, I'm going to have a hell of a day.
Yeah.
You wake up
Yep.
and you enjoy and embrace every day as if it is your last, and just be human. Just be human. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have to like everybody, but show respect and love for things that are needed. Because think about this, man. You can tell what type of person you are by how you deal with people that you don't need.
Yeah. I like that. I've always hung on to that saying. I like that
Think
one a
about
lot.
that. Think
People
about
that
that.
can't do anything for you.
Yeah,
A
think
lot of
about
time
that.
that's your dog.
Mhm.
A
Think about
lot
that.
of time you judge people by the way they treat their dogs. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I go to places and I see people and hey, what's going on, man? Wow, who is this dude? And, and I'm walking, you got bodyguards and I'm slapping, I'm giving people high five and laughing, and they're looking at me like, damn, what's wrong with him? You know, why? What's
Yeah.
wrong with me is I woke up this morning and I was determined to put a smile on her face or to make some kind of impact in somebody's life. Because keep in mind, I'll keep it short. I do this for only one reason. I do this to give people a voice, like a Danielle. Because how many George Floyds have there been? Hundreds of thousands, too many. And
Yeah. Yeah.
how many people can I pick up my phone and look through and their daughter got hung 3 days ago and you didn't hear nothing about it?
Yeah.
How many times I look on my phone and somebody got murdered 50 miles down the road from me on the Indian reservation, nobody never heard anything about it.
Yeah.
So it's my job to get involved, to uplift people's names, to give people voices. So people will know who you are, so you can get accountability.
Yeah.
And I hate being that person, but my nephew died for a reason. My
Yeah.
nephew died for everybody to be important, for everybody to have an opportunity to have to have their voice heard. Because his voice got heard and he had to die to get this for everybody else. So guess
And
what?
there's still
I'm
there's
damned and
still a lot of
determined.
voices out there not being heard.
So I'm
Yeah.
damned and determined to get everybody's voices heard that I can. Because let me tell you somebody, this is a 365, 24/7 job that I have. There's no 401k. There's no overtime. There's no nothing. If I left my phone on 24 hours a day, I've had people call me at 4 o'clock in the morning right after their son got murdered. Hey, Uncle Selwyn, like, they just killed my son. You gotta help me. Gotta help me. Okay, stop. What's the situation? He's
Yeah.
he's that he was riding in a car. This is a true situation. He was riding in a car with some of his friends, and he jumped out and started to run, and the police shot him. Okay, okay, hold on, wait. Let me wrap my head around this. How old was he? 13. Okay. What time in the morning was it? 3:30. Okay. Uh, First of all, where were you at that your 13-year-old kid is out in the street stealing cars at 3:30 in the morning, faking? First of all, you don't
Yeah.
point your finger at a police officer in the dark and not expect to get shot.
Yeah.
So I find myself sometimes, I used to be a little bit different, but I find myself times now being a realist because
Okay.
you can avoid a lot of these complications that you put yourself in.
Yeah. And a lot of parents can avoid their children getting put in those situations also by parenting correctly and not being
By
so
parenting,
judgmental.
correcting, and telling
Yeah.
your youngin that everything isn't okay.
Yeah.
Right now, we live in an okay movement, an okay society. It's okay. Video games. I have a problem with video games because how do these stalkers and these pedophiles get to these young kids, 12, 13,
Yeah.
14, 15 years old, 8, 9,
A
10?
lot of it's online. Yeah. A
A
lot of
lot of
that
it's
is
online.
online. Yeah.
A lot of it online. I've got a couple cases where a young lady called me, Mr. Jones, my daughter's missing. She left with some dude she met online. They find her 15 miles from the Mexican border.
Yep.
So we have so many potential disturbances uh, in life today that we have to watch our P's and Q's. Our parents need to be more accountable.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
they need to be more diligent on how they talk, what they treat, and how they treat their kids.
Yes.
Uh, because we know that there are good parents and there's bad parents.
Oh
The
yeah.
bad parents shouldn't have to. The good parents shouldn't have to pay for the bad. And that is how life has been, guilt by association a lot of times. And that isn't how it should be. So if you would take anything away, just believe in yourself and treat people the way that you want to be treated. And guess what? Things work out a lot better. Things come
Yes.
out a little bit better because I wouldn't want to treat anybody like I've been treated in my life. I wouldn't want
Yeah.
to be, because before I was in the third grade, I thought my name was nigger. Little nigger kid sit over here. The rest of y'all sit over here.
Yep.
When we go to
Yep.
lunch, we had a spot to sit and go to in lunch, and they had this other spot. They ate ham sandwiches, and real shit. And we had peanut butter and crackers or peanut butter sandwiches. This didn't happen once or twice. This happened my whole existence. Black kids uh, that worked on farms, we didn't go to school when beginning of school. The white kids went to school. We planted tobacco and planted corn, so they didn't have to miss school. So
Yeah.
we were expendable. Or our education didn't matter because we were used as little workhorses.
Yeah.
So,
That's
man,
definitely. You've definitely been through a lot more at your age than a lot of us are going through now, than a lot of anyone goes through now. And no one, I think you care, and it's hard not to carry with you. And it's hard, you can either turn that into wisdom or you can turn it into bitterness. And I think I really like what you've done. I really like you speaking out and turning that into something productive, because that could go the other way also. And we were just talking about addiction a little
mhm.
while ago.
You know what people tell me? When Charlie Kirk was really nasty to me and my family,
Yeah.
he was. And when he died, somebody called me, Uncle Selwyn. I know Charlie Kirk has blatantly said things about you personally and your nephew. What do you feel about his death? Nobody should be taken from this world the way that he was taken from this world because of a freedom of speech. Nobody.
Yeah.
Because what we have here is we have Charlie Kirk's kids 30 years from now can go back and they could see the moment of their father's death.
Yeah.
That was not warranted for this
Yeah, they could
freedom of
watch
speech.
it.
My my niece can go back and watch 9 minutes and 29 seconds of her daddy being tortured. Where's the right? Where's the right to any of these?
Yeah, it's
Where's the right to any of
unfortunate
these?
that those very two separate instances, they're not so far apart from each other to an
They're not
extent.
so apart as far as, as
Yet,
humanity. And you
yet
have
they
people
create so much fucking division
change, yep,
still.
division. So, and when you have people that honestly think to me, you should hate the police. They murdered your nephew. You should hate the police. Why would I hate somebody that never did anything to me? Why would I hate a dude in China when I've never been to China and seen the China?
Yeah,
So why should I hate all police officers when there were 4 people on the street that day that destroyed my nephew's life? And I tell people all the time, I am not anti-police. I'm anti-bad police.
yeah, yeah,
Defund the police. Defund the police. A lot of people meant let's get rid of police. No, let's take away them buying a new car every 2 years. Let's take away
yeah,
them buying a $25,000 body camera. Let's put some of that money to counselors. If something happens when DSS situation, let a real DSS agent go handle it, not a police officer that's going to handle things in his mind because they always think of what of the responses. We're either going to lock them
yeah,
up, we're going to let them go. That's their only choices. So you
yeah,
communicating with a police officer about a DSS thing, it's like talking to a damn bug in water. because
Yeah, I
they only
think
have two. They only have two. They only have two thoughts in their mind. We're gonna lock them up, or we're gonna let them go.
another good thing that came from this episode could be that it all starts at the top. So we're talking about parenting, and then we're
Hmm.
talking about
Oh
kids being
yes.
a product of their parenting. We're talking about police, and we're talking about them being a product of up top also, of even if we want to say not being parented by the people who are in charge of them.
Hmm.
So it seems like,
You
yeah,
got to have accountability.
it seems like we like it. Nothing is going to be a substantial change until we reach the top somehow.
You
Until
know
we
what,
start
brother?
parenting our kids right. Until we start holding the police captains or someone up there in charge who are, yeah, who are going to then hold the people under them accountable. So it seems like, and it seems like we could all connect with this issue instead of divide, because we all can see that in our own lives, no matter what color we are, black, white, brown. We all can pinpoint spots in
We're
our
human
lives or
beings.
things that we have seen that, and we can all relate to each other in a way more fucking human way than we have done to date.
Do this. Do this. Do this. Take all of your kids, Danielle, put them on a playground. Kevin, take all of your kids, put them on the playground. Let me take all of my kids and put them on the playground. Let me
They all
take
go,
some kids. Let me take some kids from Ethiopia that can't speak English and put them on the playground.
yeah, they're all
I
going to play together.
promise you, I promise you, there will not be any arguing or fussing or fighting.
Well,
Maybe
they
over a
won't give
toy.
a fuck about black or white or language barriers, nothing. We
Nope.
lose that somewhere along the fucking way.
They lose that at about 11 or 12 years old when that dominant parent attitude is given to the
Yep.
oldest child. Normally it's a boy, and that's where that shit comes in there.
Yeah. The
Because
generational stuff.
these little kids that that Jacoby go to school with now, which are all Caucasian kids,
Yeah.
he hangs around with them, he goes boating and everything with them. I make sure I tell them he better come back exactly how he left. And I tell these people this, and these people look at me like, well, they already know I'm crazy. And I tell them, this boy better come back exactly how he did, how he left here.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't,
Yeah.
we don't have time to go to jail. We don't have time to go to the hospital. Because if he don't come back, somebody's going somewhere. I'm probably going to
Yeah.
jail, and I'm sending your ass to the hospital. Hopefully, I'm
Yeah.
going to try to send you to the morgue because we're not going to have any discrepancies there.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not having no discrepancies there. So we have to become. Did you see how people came together when George Floyd got murdered?
I was going to
The whole
mention that
world.
earlier. How did that make you feel? Okay, how did that make you feel with all the protests and all the people coming together? Do
What,
you? So it's all right. I just had this weird intrusive thought, and I'm going to go ahead and fucking speak on it. Um, so all those people, it's almost a blessing and a curse, right? That George Floyd went through that your family went through that. And this may sound very insensitive, and I'm not trying to be insensitive, but it could almost be looked at from an outside perspective as a blessing and a curse because it did get the ball rolling on something. Yeah, it is a very, very fucking tragic thing. And for some reason, we need tragedy, we need failure for any real fucking change, or we get too fucking comfortable.
ain't that crazy? Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy? That we
yeah,
need tragedy to
yeah,
spark these conversations that make something happen. Because
yeah,
without devastation, if you can't live in chaos in this world, you can't live.
yeah.
That's just reality.
The world is chaos.
Yep, the world is
That's the
chaos.
way it is.
Uh
Yeah,
the tragedies, but you look at it in this aspect, we needed that George Floyd thing. We
yeah,
needed something as far as black people as people in general, because we hadn't had nothing to make that big of an impact.
yeah.
Well,
That was
since
right out
then,
there in people's faces.
and because of COVID had everybody locked in. And
Yeah,
now they create ICE because we put accountability on police hurting people with George Floyd. So what do? We'll create ICE so we can uh, uh, Gestapo squad people, and they can't tell us what to do or how to do it. Because if you're going to tell me that Alex Peretti and Susan Good should be dead today, I'm going to tell you you're a piece of shit. And I've had people tell me, well, they should be. I mean, they should have suffered the consequences because they shouldn't have been parked in the middle of the street. That's a traffic violation. That's not a
Yeah, I
death
don't
sentence.
think I think very rarely death should be a consequence for anything, to tell
Mm-mm.
you the truth. And it's so easy to sit here on the other side and be like, fuck that. He deserved to fucking die. Fuck this, fuck that. And it's easy for us to point fingers that way and not really connect over that. But
I would
I
never
don't think
say.
that good.
I would never say that somebody deserves to die. You'll never hear
No.
me say that. But I would say that if you go into a store that you drove 10 hours to get to and you killed 10 or 15 people, or you go to a church
Yeah,
and you
you just
sit
got hit.
down and let these people pray for you, and they're using the spirit of the Holy Ghost to try to help you mentally. And when they bow their heads and you kill all of them, I have issues with that.
Yeah,
I have
there's
issues with
definitely
that. I have issues with that. And you are taken to jail. You're caught with a gun. You're taken to
yeah,
jail, and you are put in a psychotic ward. And then 2 or 3 years later, they haven't tried you yet because you're not you're not competent enough, and they're probably going to end up putting your ass in a mental facility for
yeah,
murdering 9 people. Okay,
yeah.
let me back up. Let me back up. George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Castillo, Nolan Wells. Guess how many people they killed? Nobody. Emir Locke. Nobody.
Yeah,
Al Rittenhouse, the Timothy McVeigh, uh, the boy in Buffalo, the boy in North Carolina. They've killed 6,000 people,
yeah,
and they got a chance to live to be put through the system.
yeah.
When we
That,
can't even walk down the hood, we can't even walk down the street with a hood on without getting killed. There was a young man in Texas 2 weeks ago that had a water bottle, and he was getting his water. They told him to get on the ground. He was pulling his water bottle out of his pants. They shot him 16 times. This happened what 2 weeks ago, Joey?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Think about that. But yet, Timothy McVeigh can blow up 5,000 people, and they
The
can
reason,
feed his ass for 2 years. And the only reason why he is not with us is because he made that decision that he
yeah, he
wanted.
took his own life, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
I want to go. I don't want to sit in jail for 30, 40 years to think about what I did.
yeah,
I want to go.
yeah,
Think about that.
yeah. Well,
So
you know what? I appreciate you guys coming on. I
hey,
have to go ahead, Daniel. Get
oh my Myth app. I got a safety app that's coming up that
okay.
that I'm that I'm really planning on changing the face of protection and how we interact with each other. It has
Okay.
a panic button on it. Has a panic button on it, and we're able to link it. We're able to link it to your emergency contacts. So if something happens, if you're on a bad
I
date
like that.
or you're in a domestic violence situation, nobody's gonna let you take the phone. You push the panic button. We're able to know where you are. We're able to hear you. We're able to visually see you. So we're able to come to your assistance. There's been several people that have been put in bad situations that I honestly do believe if my app was available, they would have had an opportunity to live. And
When
so
is that app going to be available?
we're working on it as hard as we can. Developers, you just know how people are. People. people will take advantage of you every
Yeah,
opportunity
yeah.
they get a chance. They got.
We are all born somewhat self-serving. We just have
Mhm.
to understand that we are all somewhat self-serving.
Dog, and you know what? I've been through two developers, and we're about to get it right. It's just
Okay.
like, me and Danielle have been through a couple groups of people because
Yeah,
of their thoughts.
yeah,
And, and at this point in time, I don't give a damn because if I can't do things the way my heart tells me to do them, I don't do them.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
always have to look inside yourself and believe that, and all decisions that you make are not right, but make a conscious decision to always do the right thing.
yeah.
Always do the right thing,
So,
and if we can do that, we'll be in a better place.
where can people reach you if they'd like to help out, if they'd like to join, if this episode speaks to them? And where can they reach you? I know I've got your website. I'm going to go ahead and post that link underneath this,
Selwyn
wherever I
Jones,
post this. But
Selwyn Jones, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Discord, uh, you name it.
okay,
Uh, you look, and I'm sort of kind of everywhere. I'm trying to be a beacon of light for people
yes,
that didn't have a light,
I love
and
that.
I've been able to communicate with families and help families out and put people in good situations because I was put in a bad situation that I made good.
Yeah,
Not going to say I made it great, but I put a spin on this because most people that are in situations like this that get that little greenback, they got another agenda. They got other things they can do. And
yes,
I would feel bad if this isn't what I was doing. Because if you can hear that background noise in there, that's a 10-year-old that's
yeah,
mine.
yeah,
And I want to make sure that he doesn't have to go through the shit that I got to go through, which the chances are probably slim and none,
yeah.
but I'm damn sure going to give it my best attempt.
I love that. I love that too. Go ahead, Danielle. Where can if your mic on?
That badass internet. I told you that
I
Walmart
can't
stuff,
read
man.
lips
Leave it
for
alone.
nothing.
We can't hear you. We can't read lips.
I can't read lips for nothing. I suck at that.
Get off mute.
Yes, we hear you
Damn.
now. Okay, 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 okay. So if there are any links y'all want to share with people, go ahead and send them to me, and I will post this underneath this, and I will tag both of you in this episode. Thank you for being on.
You
Unc, I'm
I
going to call
appreciate you,
you that
brother.
right now.
Call me.
I really appreciate you being on.
Hey baby. Hey baby. Look at that. That's 60. That's 60. That's 60, baby boy. That's
You
60.
doing good for 60. I tell you
You
what,
know,
I
man.
hope I'm there at 60.
I'm doing good for 50. I'm doing good for 35.
All
Woo!
right. All right,
You make
Unky.
sure you send me your number in
I
the
will. I'll
email
send you
so
my
we can stay
number.
in contact. All right?
Yes, absolutely, brother. Thank you, man.
Much love, brother.
Later, brother. Love you, man.
Love you.